Well, boys, we possibly could have the most ambitious banger MMORPG from the Turkish developer with the name of Vavrek Studio, and the name of this new MMORPG is QUINFALL. Since first trailer, some details about the new project have been added, so in our video I suggest A. We refresh our knowledge about the game, and B. We're trying to get everything that we have in the latest news. After all, this channel is about MMORPG, right? And the developers have promised something so big and so unique that it could be the best ever possible MMORPG in the genre. So I'm a little bit skeptical. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. My name is PLK and let's go. Let's start with the traditional briefing. Developers announced its intention to release a highly ambitious new MMORPG called QUINFALL. As confirmation, a large 12-minute gameplay trailer was showcased. They promise a lot of things: modern graphics on the Unity engine with top-notch support, a massive map covering 2016 square kilometers, weather conditions that affect gameplay, changing seasons, day and night cycles, housing systems, survival elements, a variety of peaceful professions, sieges, naval battles, puzzles, quests, riddles, and even the time travel. In addition to all of this, it was recently revealed that the game will have fairly modest system requirements, which you can see on your screens right now. The game is already available on Steam, and you can sign up for the upcoming closed beta test on the official website, which will take place sometime, I don't know when. Most likely it will happen quite soon. At the Steam page lists its release date as the fourth quarter of the 2023. Also, developers announced that they are very pleased with the interest in their project and will continue to encourage it in the future. They also assured that they will not ask for any financial support from the potential players at any stage of development. So the guys have an investor, or they just... yeah, they have an investor. That's good. In addition to that, they promise to periodically release development diaries to keep everyone informed. Furthermore, it turns out that the team is fully open to communication, which allowed somebody like me to have a conversation with them directly. Thanks to that and to other streamers, it became known that the game will be distributed using the hybrid model. The price of the game is expected to be low, and of course, not pay to win. The developers were particularly emphatic about this, stating that such a system betrayed the genre. The class system is mainly based on the weapon your character wields. Player will be able to choose their own playstyle depending on the situation, without being tied to a single archetype. Subsystems are being developed to support these mechanics. Additionally, weapons will have their own spells, even weapons like spears, long swords, axes, bows and crossbows. There are many factors that will affect the character in the game. There is personal statistics obtained through the leveling up, which is influenced by passive racial bonuses. Weapons and their corresponding levels also provide different abilities and attributes. Many skills depend on the skill tree and ability transformation. Well, it's a lot. It's really a lot, and like if everything is working well, it will be so complicated and hard to make the balance. But well, we want such games, right? So let's believe in the developers. Do you want castle sieges, raiding caravans, naval battles and all of that? No problem. Welcome to the PvP server. Do you want to avoid the troubles associated with the open world PvP? Well, then your choice is obviously the PvE server, so yes, it will be different servers in the game. Interestingly, you will be able to freely move between those servers. Weather and seasonal changes will also affect gameplay, and certain mechanics will be tied to them. So this server system, it looks like Black Desert Online, which is perfectly fine for guilds. Certain features will be provided, such as guild islands. Each guild can own its own island in foreign lands, subject to certain conditions. And of course there will be wars. Each castle obtained in a war represents a city. The guild that wins the war will occupy and govern that city. In addition to this, there are special quest series, events, guild levels, guild wars, and guild buffs. Moreover, guild members will be able to choose special defenders and upgrade them. The game will have a fast travel system, albeit limited by certain rules. Mounts, caravans, world bosses, sea bosses, with whom you can fight not only underwater but also underwater. I mean, these all features, these all promises, they're so huge that you start not to believe. Okay, we believe. It is also been revealed that the development team currently consists of 56 people. They plan to make the player limit on the server high, but they didn't mention any specific numbers. They will implement a system called mirrors and channels. I mean, standard thing, right? But 56 people for the AAA MMORPG. Well, it's a pretty good number, I can say, but it's not enough. But you know, lack of resources create the creativity. As for the release of the game on consoles and controller support, there is no information about yet. However, the anti-bot and anti-cheat system is already in place, and the developers are confident in it. Furthermore, according to their assurances, player will not have any loopholes to open a black market for currency and goods. Of course, this refers to RMT, and how will they do that? Okay, interesting. A little later, the developers prepared a list of answers to frequently asked questions about the upcoming MMORPG and published it in the official Discord server. Some information had already been mentioned before, but there were also some new things. For example, they announced that they plan to launch the closed beta test by the end of this year. So, subscribe for more, you know? The first stage of the closed beta test will be by invitation, and the second stage will be for those who have already purchased the game. What was previously understood as a PvP and PvE service turned out to be PvP and PvE channels, or the mirrors, and then it immediately becomes clear why you will be able to move between them without any problems. Well, you know, in the event of just on PvP channel, you will lose some experience. Experience gain on the PvP channel is increased compared to the PvE channel. And that is actually really good stuff. Because I liked one in Lineage 2, when you died, you lose some XP. And for example, in World of Warcraft, you don't lose some XP. And I think it's this fees, you know, this loss of something that when you die, it's good. It's not so huge, but still, you know, you feel the death. So, good idea. The level cap is 50. Also, they will introduce the guild heraldry mechanic similar to Arcade, but they haven't decided on the guild size yet. They confirmed the presence of dungeons and achievements, as well as a storyline and crafting, which essentially serve to, you know, solo content. The game itself will be sandbox. There won't be a classic tank healer damage dealer system from other MMORPGs, but there will be naval content, and there will be a lot of it. If the game becomes popular, special servers for the newcomers will be added, as well as regional servers. The developers want to increase the server capacity beyond what was available in their previous game, which means more than 12,000 people on one server. And very recently, the developers started showcasing the character editor capabilities of the QUINFALL. They have released a number of screenshots, and people immediately started talking about how someone has challenged not just Black Desert, but even its character editor, which is currently considering the benchmark. The team showed the hero editor interface in these published screenshots. You can customize dozens of parameters, and I'm not just talking about the character's head, like hairstyle, eye colors and nose size, but also about small details of the body, you know, the main things. Yep. Well, let's start with the obvious. I'm very glad that we have such an extensive project on the horizon. Furthermore, it's very pleasing to see that the developers are open for communication and are answering questions about their upcoming MMORPG. They deserve a special thanks for that. And thank you. Yeah, thank you for being honest and open. I hope you're honest. And I hope they will continue in the same spirit in the future. The scale they have presented for now only in our imagination, excluding the gameplay trailer, of course, is impressive. Of course, there are staged shots, right? Built directly in the game engine. It is also quite evident that the sum of the announced aspects, and perhaps even more than that, will change over time or may not make it into the final version, which is also okay. This is completely normal for such a large-scale project. Moreover, even now we can see some clarifications. For example, the information about PvP and PvE servers which suddenly turned into the channels. And if in this case we can attribute it to translation difficulties, like a misunderstanding or misinterpretation, it happens. Then the information regarding the system requirements which suddenly turned out to be higher than previously stated, it's quite clear. To remind you, the developers now state that for minimum settings you should aim for like something RTX 20 series level cards, and for recommended setting it's RTX 30s. Of course, these are all minor details, but if you look at them closely, it becomes obvious that what I mentioned before, right earlier. The QUINFALL has not yet reached its final form, and much can change during the process. Also, in my opinion, the scale they have now is the level of hugest AAA MMO project, with corresponding funding and several full years of the development. Can this Turkish studio develop such a game in this compressed time frame? Well, not in compressed time frame, and not that huge for sure. For example, recently I came across an interview with the director of the studio where he mentioned that in Turkey it is quite difficult to find a large number of high-skilled specialists in certain fields. This is especially true for working in such large-scale AAA projects. So I'm not sure if they were able to solve this staffing issue right now, but it could potentially become a major obstacle. Don't get me wrong. I wish this studio great success and luck in all their, endeavors. After all, they are doing it for us as well. I just want to caution eager fans not to set their expectations too high. We already did it a few times this year. And it's likely that at this stage we may get a high quality but limited MMORPG that will occupy a certain niche, which is good. Please do good game. Don't try to do everything in one game, just do good game. And meantime, as always, please subscribe, like or dislike the video, comment what do you think about the QUINFALL. And it was PLK, I was happy to see you and have fun. See you next one, bye.